Battlefront doesn't have a traditional loadout system, like other shooters have adopted over the last few years. That's mainly down to the setting the game is placed in, the Star Wars universe. Start adding further fiction into a well-established story, and you'll ruin the immersion. So to allow players some level of customization, DICE have created the hand system, integrating weapons and charge items alongside a trait that will ultimately dictate the way you can play the game. There's no specific type of character you pick to play as, like a frontline assault player or a marksman sniper. You need to create that yourself. And that's what we're here to do today. Create the best hand that we can to combat those pesky vehicles out there on the field of battle. Your major force against vehicles in this game as an infantry player are ion items. Normal blaster fire and explosives will still do damage, but are nowhere near as effective as their ion equivalents. And with that mindset, our first card is going to be the Ion Torpedo. Unlocked at rank 4 and costing a mere 650 credits, this bad boy is easy enough to unlock. It's got a cooldown of 15 seconds, and if you upgrade the card, which costs a further 7,000 credits, its cooldown is reduced to 12 seconds. It'll likely be unlocked for purchase within a few rounds of you playing the game, and can do some great damage to ATSTs if you're playing as the Rebels. The weapon is lock-on. Aim at a target, wait for the circle crosshairs to connect in the middle, and then fire. I'd say it's at its most useful on Hoth, as it can also damage those stationary turrets that can be used in the Walker Assault and Supremacy modes. Its most effective usage though is likely against the AT-ATs on the Walker Assault mode, and if your Rebel teammates have managed to get enough Y-Wing lock-ons, you'll be able to fire a few of these torpedoes off before the shields are reactivated. The only downside is that you must aim down sights to fire this weapon, as it needs to lock on first. There's no dumbfire here. This leaves you open to enemy attack and no real way to combat it. Moving on to the middle card now, the Charge card, and naturally we're going with the Ion Charge. Costing 1700 credits and being unlocked at rank 7, this again is a card you will gain access to early on in your Battlefront career, and one that you can help finish off a vehicle with that's been hounding your team for a while. The Charge card, once activated, modifies your primary blaster to fire ion-charged laser bolts, making it super effective not just against ground vehicles, but also droids and shields like the one on the blaster cannon and the squad shield. It's got a cooldown of 25 seconds and stays active for 7 seconds at a time. However, Charge cards work slightly differently to the standard equipable weapon cards. They're a finite resource, and should you run out during a round, you'll lose access to the card. But don't worry, you can buy more packs of 25 for another 1700 credits, or you can pick up charges around the maps as you play. They hover just like the pickup coins, but they look like a bolt of lightning. This card is most effective for some sustained fire on a single target, and if you can aim for the weak spot on the ATSTs and the Walkers, you'll do plenty of damage. And the final card in the hand, and one that requires a little bit more game time to achieve, or at least notice, is the Ion Grenade. Battlefront has, at the moment, a bit of a grenade spam crisis, but it's well documented already, and I hope DICE consider balancing them soon. But in my opinion, the Ion Grenade is a much more tactical choice than the Impact or Thermal Detonator. Similarly to the Ion Charge, it deals big damage against vehicles, droids and shields, and a fact recently exposed by Jack Frags, 2 well-placed ion grenades can bring an ATST crashing to the ground in a heap of metal. And considering they're probably the biggest vehicle threat in Battlefront right now, this surely makes the card a great choice if you're a fan of the larger game modes. The card is unlocked for purchase at rank 9 and costs 2,300 credits to buy and has a cooldown of 16 seconds. If you upgrade the card for 7,000 credits, that cooldown is reduced to 12 seconds. And finally, our chosen trait, Scout. A sneaky choice that keeps you off the minimap while sprinting, firing your primary blaster, and if you reach the top level, resets your weapon heat with each kill. It's hard to argue against using it in basically any combat situation, but with the Ion hand, it comes in handy. Because if vehicles don't know where you're firing from, they'll find it harder to locate you. In terms of primary blaster, it's really up to you what you want to use, but for me right now, the T21 is perfect as it can act as a DMR style weapon, making semi-automatic fire really easy to control for those accurate shots on the weak spot of vehicles, as well as the DLT-19, which is maybe for more an aggressive playstyle, getting up close and personal with the legs of the AT-AT on Walker Assault. And there you have it, your perfect vehicle destroyer loadout. If you like this video, well then that's great, because I've got another one coming up next week on how to construct an effective loadout to be Elite Scout Sniper in the world of Battlefront. But thank you very much for watching, leave me some comments down below and drop me a thumbs up as well. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.